And good morning to everybody in the United States that's ready for another day of action in college basketball. And again, coverage begins on CBS today. Well, the luck of the Irish has got us here. Speaking of the Irish, Notre Dame will lead us off tomorrow on CBS. So the windows work on the weekends, so you have CBS doubleheader in the morning. And then on Saturday and late night, you got another doubleheader, which I believe is going to be from Salt Lake City. We'll get the second doubleheader. So Buffalo will get the first doubleheader. Then we'll have Salt Lake City in late. Then TNT and TBS will carry the other two locations in late. But if you love today's action, yesterday's action, you'll love today's action. It's the same schedule. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. As first round action in college basketball's best tournament continues today. With 16 games across 4 networks. Okay. I don't know if you understand all this stuff. So we got 2 8-9 games again today, and then 2 7-10 games. Is it 3? I don't remember. I need to get my bracket. So we have Michigan, Oklahoma State in the 7-10, Marquette, South Carolina in the 7-10, and Dayton, Wichita State in the 7-10. That Dayton, Wichita State game is on CBS tonight. Jeez. So I think they're doing the same thing they did yesterday, and they're going to stay in the same place on CBS. Which I'd expect them to do. I have no clue what I said yesterday. But let's recap yesterday's action for the first round. I need to find my bracket. My interactive bracket. You kidding me? You kidding me? It's always those weird people that come in, try to interrupt. Okay, so let's start in the West region. Notre Dame and Princeton. The game came down to the final shot. Princeton with a chance to win, but the Irish survive. And it will play Saturday on CBS against the winner of Bucknell, West Virginia. And West Virginia dominated, so it'll be Notre Dame, West Virginia tomorrow on CBS from Buffalo. Okay. Northwestern and Vanderbilt. Northwestern, their first NCAA tournament, and a crucial foul at the end gives Northwestern the lead, and Vanderbilt would lose the game. Gonzaga, South Dakota State. South Dakota State was in this game at the beginning, and then second half, Gonzaga pulled away, and here we are now. Xavier and Maryland. It was a very tight game at the half, but Xavier pulling away at the end with Mikura and their entire team. Florida Gulf Coast and Florida State. Again, a close game at the half, but Florida State was just too much for Florida Gulf Coast. Salt Lake City, Virginia Commonwealth, not Mount St. Mary's, but St. Mary's against VCU. It was, oh my goodness. It was back and forth. St. Mary's had a lead, a big lead, and then VCU came back, and then St. Mary's holds on. North Dakota and Arizona. North Dakota, they did not do as well as the 16 seeds did. Arizona showed up, and they're going to play another day. So all of the 4-5 games will be on Saturday. Right here. All of the regions had their 4-5 play yesterday, and they'll all play. The only one that did not survive was Minnesota, which was a 5 seed. The only 4-5 did not survive. And today, plenty of matchups. CBS will have Oklahoma State, Michigan, Jacksonville State, Louisville. Then later, it's Wichita State and Dayton. In the nightcap, it's Northern Kentucky against Kentucky. All those games from Indianapolis. Today on True TV, the games start with New Mexico State and Baylor. Continue with South California and SMU. And then late on True TV, it's Kansas State, Cincinnati, Kent State, UCLA. Those games from Sacramento, the late ones. The first games are from Tulsa. Let's go to TNT, which they start with an 8-9 matchup between it. Seton Hall and Arkansas. Then it's Texas Southern and North Carolina. And then the late games will start with UC Davis and Kansas, followed by Michigan State and Miami. That Michigan State Miami should be on my featured games, but I forgot to put it on. Instead, we have Oklahoma State, Michigan. Yay. But yeah, that is actually the best game today, is Michigan State Miami. Is our best game today. Should be. Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's one network we haven't told you about, and that's TBS. It starts with Iona and Oregon. Then it's Rhode Island, Creighton. Many considering Rhode Island the favorite in that game. And then we've got, what's the next on TBS? Troy and Duke, and then it concludes with Marquette and South Carolina. Full day of action, 16 games across 4 networks. Oh, what a day! And I believe it's time to make my picks. And Waz didn't show up today, so he will be counted absent. And it's going to be his final absence, so he'll not be allowed to score today. He'll be shot to 0 because he couldn't make a live stream. It's his problem for not doing his, because he doesn't have documents that I have. I make all these documents, and they are not easy to make, okay? I have a ton of documents. These are yesterday's picks. So there's only one discrepancy, I believe. This one. How many what is my percentage from yesterday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 81%. 81% of picks right. My 3 wrong picks were this one, and this one. So then that would put Waz under 80%. I consider 80% Paul. Okay, so let's get just started. We're here, and so let's pick locations first. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Baylor, and New Mexico State. I'm not doubting Baylor. Baylor's didn't do well in previous tournaments. They don't want to get upset today. I'm gonna go with SMU, USC. I don't know if they're going to show up today. Against SMU. I'm gonna go with Kansas. Kansas, they're going to respond to UC Davis. UC Davis, I don't know if they have a chance. It might be close game in the first minute, but after that, I'm going to go Michigan State over Miami. Tom Izzo, he's a very good coach at preparing players for the tournament. Rhode Island, okay, we're out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's go to the games that will start on TNT. Seton Hall and Arkansas. I've got to go with the Pirates. They are a very good defensive team. I have not seen much of Arkansas, but I know they lost to Kentucky. They're better than Vanderbilt, Arkansas is. But I'm going to go with the upset, take Seton Hall over Arkansas today. I'm going to go with North Carolina. They are a very good defensive team. They will not lose to a 16th seed today. Late games in Greenville today on TBS. Marquette and South Carolina. Marquette coming out of the Big East. They beat Villanova this year, the number 1 overall seed. I'm going to go with South Carolina because Marquette, I don't know, is actually the best team. They're not the best team in the Big East. I'm going to go with Duke over Toronto. Self-explanatory. The game's in Sacramento. Iona and Oregon. Again, I think Iona won a game last year. Oregon, they will respond to an injury this year. The Ducks, they are not respected enough. They want respect today. Rhode Island and Creighton. Well, I'm going to go with Creighton. The Creighton Blue Jays, they have been good, but they have not been good against Villanova this year. I have to go with the Blue Jays. Later in Sacramento on True TV. Kansas State and Cincinnati. Well, it's a tough one here. I'm going to go with the upset Kansas State. My percentage is probably not going to be lucky today. But Cincinnati, they did not win their conference. In that is the American Conference. And I think momentum will be carried for Kansas State. Not so much for USC. Because USC, they have momentum, but again, SMU is the American champion, and Cincinnati the American runner-up. Kansas State, they are a team that gave West Virginia a scare. In West Virginia, they were a 5 seed, or a 4 seed actually, in this tournament. And let's go to the late game on True TV. UCLA is going to be my pick in that game. Too self-explanatory. UCLA, they will show up today. In Indianapolis, the early game on CBS. Oklahoma State and Michigan. Oklahoma State is a team out of the Big 12 that did not look good against Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament. I'm going to go Michigan. They have played it well, and as of late. Jacksonville State and Louisville on CBS. I'm going to go Louisville. I don't like taking upsets. But Louisville is... Louisville beat Jacksonville State. They are a better team. They didn't look bad against Duke. I don't know why people are doubting Louisville to get to the Sweet 16. Louisville is a phenomenal program. Late games on CBS. Wichita State and Dayton. I'm going to go Dayton in this game because Wichita State isn't the same team that they were last year. They will. This will be a very good game on CBS tonight. But I think Dayton will come out on top. I know Northern Kentucky is going to give out steak if they win against the Wildcats of Kentucky, but the steak won't be needed to give out now because Kentucky, they are well coached. They will not slip up today against Northern Kentucky. But the Norse, they are legit. I saw them play in their conference championship. I think against Milwaukee. You know Northern Kentucky. They'll give Kentucky a game for about 5 minutes in that 15-2 game today on CBS. Tomorrow, second round coverage of March Madness begins on CBS. And it begins with Notre Dame and West Virginia. Then it's Wisconsin and Villanova, all from Buffalo. In late, it's Northwestern and Gonzaga, followed by St. Mary's, Arizona, on TNT at 5:10. Coverage moves on with Xavier and Florida State, followed by Virginia and Florida. And then, also on TBS, it's Middle Tennessee and Butler, followed by a phenomenal matchup between Iowa State and Purdue. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. on CBS. And that will do it for us. For I Take Her, this has been a presentation of the road to the Final Four. We will see you tomorrow, same time, right here on the Star. Again, the winners of this weekend's games are moving on to the Sweet 16. The best 16 teams in the nation will survive from their 4-team brackets. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.